Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Olivia. I'm a certified yoga instructor and I'm going to be taking you through how to do an arm balance today. This one is called Flying Crow, also known as Ikapada Bakasana. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that for you here, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. So essentially, it's like the regular crow pose, which is this, except for you are flying one leg up, whereas in this version, both knees are resting onto your triceps. So to get started, all you need is a yoga mat. And the most important part about arm balancing is to make sure that your wrists are nice and warmed up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with you here. Okay, so coming into a tabletop, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You're just going to start to spread the fingers nice and wide, doing some circles here, just really feeling into those joints. And then whenever you're ready, just going into the other direction. Maybe bringing some hips into it. Now rotating your fingertips so they face the edges of your mat. Wrists are facing each other. Again, spreading the fingers nice and wide, and then just shifting side to side. Whenever you're ready, you're just going to spin your fingers so that they're facing towards your knees. Starting to shift forward and backward here. You're just going to flip your palms over so that you're coming onto the tops of the hands here. Again, trying to keep them underneath the shoulders, maybe keeping a bend through the elbows at first, just to get used to that feeling. Maybe coming onto the knuckles. And then leaning forward just a little bit, trying to keep the arms as straight as you can. And then just breathing here, just for a few moments. And then sitting back on the heels, shaking out the hands. Feels really good. Bringing your hands into prayer, interlocking your fingers, and then just doing some circles here. Just releasing all of that. So one of the key things that helped me fly my crow was understanding the difference between crow and flying crow. And one of the big differences there is that in your regular crow, your chest is square down to the mat. So equal weight is being distributed through both arms, both knees. But in your flying crow, you're kind of tilting more towards the flying leg side. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you that here in this angle. So as you can see, I'm kind of leaning towards the left side here. If you have a yoga wheel, you can go grab it now. I have a little tip for getting into this arm balance with help from a prop. Bringing the knee to the top of the wheel, just using your palm and your elbow, your forearm, just to keep that wheel in balance there. Again, kicking that heel into your glute, remembering to breathe, gazing up and forward, and then starting to lift that back knee. Pointing to the toes, staying nice and grounded through all four corners of the hand, and then gently releasing and coming down. Always remembering to practice on the other side. So bringing your right knee down to the top of the wheel, kicking the heel into the glute, starting to lean forward, and then whenever you feel balanced, picking up that back leg, really engaging through the core here, remembering to breathe, and then gently release down. So now that our wrists are nice and warmed up, we're going to start coming into flying crow pose. So just placing your hands down near the top of your mat. Your hands should be about shoulder width distance apart. Again, remembering to spread the fingers nice and wide so we have that nice foundation. So starting to lift the hips up, straighten your flying leg, starting to bend the elbows, making a shelf for the body, placing the knee onto the tricep area. And then picking that foot up, kicking it into your glute, starting to tiptoe that back foot forward so that your face is coming closer to the mat. And then whenever you're ready, just starting to make little taps with your toe. And then always remembering to do the same on the other side. I actually have a really hard time flying my crow on my right side, so this is good practice for me as well. So again, planting the palms down, kicking the right heel into the glute this time, straightening through that left leg, leaning forward, and then just doing those little taps. If the fear of falling is holding you back, I highly recommend grabbing a pillow and then just placing it under your face when you're just practicing those little taps. It just kind of helps you get over that fear of smashing your face into the ground, which I promise all of us have been there. So don't feel too bad if you're falling or not getting it. This is a really advanced arm balance, and it took me a while to get it. So just keep practicing, keep trying, and it'll click. Once you've played around with those and you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, I'm just going to go through flying crow in a bit more detail. Firmly planting the hands down, raising the hips up, placing my left knee onto my tricep a little bit closer to my elbow, starting to lean forward as I straighten out that back leg, kicking my left heel into my glute, and again, leaning just a little bit onto that left side. And then whenever I feel nice and balanced, just engaging the core, really pressing the knee into the tricep, lifting through that back leg, and then safely coming down. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that these tips and details gave you a little bit more insight into this tricky arm balance. If there's anything else you'd like to see from me arm balance wise, arm balance are one of my favorite categories to practice. So if there's any other ones that you need a little bit of help on, I'm always here. So just please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.